precious. No, you will look for your precious, but we're not going to do it today. Today I'm going metal detecting. Because the ground finally thought, my precious. Stop it. You stop it. I'm going to take you looking for your precious. There's caves all over the place. Don't worry. It could be a cave right there. We'll come back. I promise you. I'm not my precious. No. Listen, I am the boss of you. We will do that when it's time. Today's not the day. I smell it. What do you smell? Murder. You don't smell murder. Let's go. I'm going digging. I don't care what you do. Murder. Or I'm going to tell them. I will tell them everything. Who? Your fans. Murder. You're an idiot. Tell you what. We're going to look for caves today. How's that? And in that cave, you might find your precious. I am the boss of you. Remember? Well, thanks for joining me today. I was originally going to do a little metal detecting because the woods actually aren't frozen anymore. But I had a change of plans, you know. I think what we're going to do is we're going to look for some caves. Now, we're in an area close to the Antietam battlefield where there are a lot of Civil War camps. And when I was a kid, I used to run through these woods looking for caves. And there's one back here. It's like a shaft that's like in solid rock that goes straight down, almost like a well. It goes straight down about 20 feet. I couldn't get down in it when I was a kid, but guess what? I brought my cameras today. And we're gonna lower those cameras down in there and see if there's any like muskets or cannonballs that the soldiers might have threw in there, or any dead bodies. Because they threw dead bodies in those places too. Not that they probably threw them here, so don't worry about that. It's gonna be family friendly. Anyway, cork top bottles. We'll take a look around this little dump real quick, and then I want to shoot through the woods, hit that cave, check out some sinkholes, and call it a day. Tomorrow will be metal detecting, I hope. If I get my way. We'll see you later. This is absolutely the last time I'm going to do that for you, okay? Next time, we're going metal detecting. Metal detecting. Just take a quick look around while we're here. That's that bottle top. And that would date probably to, you know, the later 1800s. Certainly not Civil War. Of course, anytime you see this type of blue glass, that's a mason jar type bottle, and they're definitely post-Civil War. Well, post-1860s, so maybe in the, there, you know what that is? Do ya? This is a core to a battery. You find a lot of these in the woods. And they'll actually, although they're carbon, they give a good signal on a metal detector. And some mason jar lids. This will be the lid to that blue bottle. It's a more modern Coke bottle. Clorox bottle, I would think. Is it? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a Clorox bottle. But yeah, so this dump isn't that old. We're actually on Park Service right now, so I'm not going to go through and look for anything or disturb anything. But I thought it was just kind of interesting to show you anyway. If it was on my buddy's land, we'd be digging it. Here's some like a Hot Wheel. But you know, it's an older dump. Look at that. Some more bottles like that. It's mixed, but that's what you get, you know. Because where people dump modern stuff, they also, you know, had the idea of dumping stuff back in the old days too. So you oftentimes you get the newer stuff on top of the old stuff. You may not even see old bottles, but they could very well be there. So it's always worth checking. But we're going to move on since we're, like I said, we're on National Park Service. And we're going to go look for caves. Oh my gosh, this is horrible. This is pretty bad. I guess that's somebody's dumping area. We might be across the line now, I don't know. So what we're going to do is we're going to scoot along the line until I get to my buddy's place. But we'll look through here just real quick, just to see what's here. This is obviously someone's dump. Not that old, because these are like soda bottles that I used to have when I was a kid. So those are probably from the 70s. The creepy doll. There's my thumbnail. Hold it by the head. You may not see that again. My precious. Might save that one. Not really. All right, let's get the heck out of here. This is not a great place. When I threw this doll baby down, I noticed on the back it has a pull cord. Should we pull it? See what it says? Wouldn't that be crazy if it said, "Hold your breath"? Might, you know. All right, let's see what we got. Ready? I'm gonna have to put my knee there into this one hand. And we're gonna pull it. Let's see what it says. Shh. Whoops, I didn't say anything. Oh, poor little thing. Where's one? Turkeys. Try to zoom in for you. See some flying. It's about a dozen or more. I suspect that's not going to be a great video, but it was pretty cool in real life. Those are, you know, wild turkeys. They're still flying off up there, up in the trees. We'll probably see them again. I want to show you this poison ivy right here. You might recognize it. It's this big vine. When it's got that like hair on it. If it's not a bald vine, that could very well be poison ivy. So I would advise not to play around with it a lot if you catch poison ivy. Especially don't cut it with a chainsaw and somehow get stuff down your pants. Okay, gotta climb on the soapbox for a second. Well, the tree stump, as it were. I'm on National Park Service right here. Now this is, you know, the national park. Anybody can come here most anytime. Now we can't metal detect, and most of you guys know I like to metal detect, but we can still come here and enjoy it and walk around and look at turkeys and stuff. Look right there, there's a blue line on that tree. Right beside it is a really cool stump. Now I want to go look at that stump because it's just really cool. It's like a giant tree. And standing here on my stump, I'm doing fine. We're in the park. We can go anywhere we want to. Right there, we're breaking the law. Now I'm not gonna go over there very far because, you know, I don't want to get in trouble, but I want to see the stump. Isn't that cool? So when you hear that the government bought up land, bought up farmland, bought up woods, civil, you know, for Civil War battlefields or camps or whatever, it's a good thing because we can go there. As American citizens or, you know, visitors to this country, you can go. I can't stand here unless I go find the person and ask him, and I can guarantee you this person would never let me walk here. But everyone's welcome here. Remember that. Coming up on this beautiful ravine right here that I want to explore. But I want to show you something else that's pretty interesting here. You see these logs here? This is cedar, or, you know, Virginia juniper, just like this one standing right here with the hairy vine that we don't want to touch. Anytime you see that growing in the woods like this, that tells you that this was probably an open field or pasture not that long ago. I mean, it might have been 100 years ago, but they like to grow where it's open, they get lots of sunlight. Eventually, the deciduous trees, you know, these kind that drop their leaves, will take over, the canopies get bigger, and they die. You know, it could take them a long time to die. In fact, there's one up there that's still alive. You know, that could have been laying there for 50 years. But if you look up there, there's one cedar tree. But these trees will kill it because they'll block the sunlight from it. But that's one way you can tell how old the woods might be other than the size of the trees, because of course they cut the trees down all the time when they're logging. If there's cedar trees there, it was probably a pasture for quite a while before it was woods. I need to get out more. I'm just going to be constantly out of breath in this video. This is really kind of cool. Of course, these are natural rocks, but these are stacked up right here. So somebody did that for a reason. Maybe there's a building up here, or it could have been part of a Civil War camp. Like I said, they were all over this place. Yeah, I've never seen that. I don't know what that's all about. It just goes across that gap. That's just so beautiful. Look at that. I could sit out here in these rocks for hours. You guys have seen enough rocks, I'm sure. I'm gonna look some more. But let's go. I'll go to that cave and then we'll turn the camera back on. I see a bunch of trash down here in the woods, and I suspect it's going to be a sinkhole or two. If you look right there, I'm pretty sure, yeah, that's a big sinkhole right there. And where that trash is another big sinkhole. So we're getting in the area. From what I can remember, though, again, this was 20 years ago. When I saw that cave opening, it was totally woods. Like, if you look over here, you see the cedar trees. That's an old field. So we're not in the right place yet. I think we have to go down a little further. But hopefully we'll find it, because that's been gnawing at me for a long time. Now we have cameras, we can drop down it, you know. Back in those days we had to, well, we didn't have cameras, we just dropped down like we do now. Let's look at this hole. Oh, we'll look at them both. And get across here without getting, it's very this is really, really slippery. So we'll have to be careful. I think we can just scoot under. Now listen, I'm gonna give you a bit of advice. This is one of those do as well, I'm not even going to do it. I was going to say do as I say, not as I do. When you're out like this in the woods, especially when you're by yourself, never crawl under trees and logs. Because if it's like just about ready to fall and you brush it and it falls on your back, you might be trapped forever and the raccoons would eat your face off. So never crawl under this kind of stuff. Trees and logs like that. Just go around, which is what we're going to do. I mean, it'd be easy enough to scoot under, would probably be okay. But we'll go up and around like that. It's always better to be safe than sorry. You see how my pack caught that tree right there. If it did that with a rotten log that fell on our back, you know, could break our back or trap us, or, well, I don't want the raccoons coming to get me at night. Let's just go look at this hole over here. Don't forget to always check the root balls, see if there's any mini balls or gold rings. I don't see any there. Oh, this is kind of neat though. Not too far. There's some actually caves in this area that we can go into later. No opening there, but what happens is the water runs down out of these fields across the surface and it hits these caves and it washes down into like a big whirlpool, except in miniature, and it pulls all the soil down in with it, and that soil from the fields and the woods will fill up the cave, or just, you know, wash out somewhere else, maybe down into the river. You can see it doesn't open up, but look here, here's an animal trail. So this might be, there's probably a raccoon den in here, so it might go somewhere. Ooh, look. Always be very careful when you're exploring these kind of places. Not only is a lot of sharp tin and stuff, but we don't know what's under that. I mean, there could be a pit that's 100 feet deep, just barely hanging on by a couple roots. So we have to be very careful when we're stepping on this stuff and looking at it. We're gonna go around that side right there, and we're gonna look down in that hole. It's going that way. This is kind of exciting. This might be a new one. No, this is big enough for raccoons to live in it. What do you think? Big enough for Bo to get down there. Okay, here's what I'm doing, okay? I'm looking to see kind of where this is trending, and I can see that the hole is going that way, not straight down. So I'm pretty comfortable standing on that this tin right here. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll work our way down the hole, and we'll explore this together for the very first time. I'm not going to go down in there by myself, though. Not very far anyway. Because we don't know. Now that's a dirt ceiling right there. I might poke, I'll poke down my head down a little bit further, but you can see those animals come up out of here. And I actually brought a flashlight. I got a new one. I want to show it to you. If I brought it, I hope I brought a flashlight. This is a new one from Through Night. They just sent this to me. It's I guess TC20. I think it's one of the newer models. I'm not sure. You know, they're a sponsor of my channel, and they send me flashlights every once in a while to test out. And you know, I tell them if I like them, I'll use them in my videos and show you guys what I'm using. But yeah, it's actually really good flashlight. I like it because it's smaller and easier for me to carry on these type of expeditions. Now, if we come back to this thing, I'm going to bring that really big flashlight that I just love too. But we'll take a quick peek down in here, see what we got, and I like it. Definitely not going to go down in there by myself, though, at least not today, because my wife doesn't know where I am. All right, you ready? This is the same as the other Through Nights. If you double tap it, it's the super bright mode, so I'm just going to do that, because we're not going to... Well, yeah, see how bright that is? That's amazing. Oh, dude. Look at that. That definitely... I can feel air, too. That definitely keeps going. Was it something that just growled? Did you hear it? I'm being serious. Sound like a... That's raccoon doo-doo right there, so it's probably not any bears in there. God, it sounded like something growled. Yeah, we're definitely not going down in there today by ourselves. Or are we? Are we? No, we're not. Well, maybe just... I'm going to take my pack off and just poke my head down there. No further than right here, I promise you. But let's take it a little bit more of a look. So I kind of poked my head down there and looked around. It does keep going, but I'm not going to go any further because my wife really only has a general idea where I am today. And you know, if we had a little cave in or got stuck down there, a raccoon attacked me, she'd never know where it was. I wouldn't be found for a long time. All right, old dump, but not too old. That's no washing machine there. Some other things, man, looks like a starter off a tractor or a truck or something. But we're going to go ahead and saddle up and look for that other cave. Because that's the one that's been gnawing at me. Not like the raccoon. on my face. This hunt is going to be like a needle in a haystack for me, because that cave I'm looking for is in a rock break just like this, and there's so many here, and it probably goes for a long way. I mean, I'm really hoping we can find it, but it's been such a long time. I really don't have any idea where it is, except it's in something like this, in this stretch here somewhere. Could be over there, down there, or up that way. Now, this woods goes like this for about a mile, so I mean, there's a fair chance we'll find the spot, but there's also a really good chance we'll walk right by it, because it wasn't something easy to see from what I can remember. All these rock breaks look the same, but I know it was in the middle somewhere, middle of the woods. Nice big trees. Looks like another big sinkhole down here, or at least a ravine. I guess this is where the water pours off here, runs down, it's taking away all the soil down that way. I don't know if it goes out to the river or just dumps into an old cave opening down there. We're gonna skirt around the edge, and I wanna find that pit. That's our goal for today. Wish me luck. Our goal. In some of my other videos, I've come across these things called Osage Oranges. They're big, like green balls. They're kind of like, I don't know, not a pineapple, but big like that. This tree here is one of those, and it's massive. I don't think I've ever seen one that big. There's some more, there's one there and some over there. So again, this was probably an open field at one time as well. Well, I've never seen a tree that big. Well, an Osage orange tree. I don't see any of the fruit though, which is kind of weird. Up here somewhere I could see where something was chewing on a couple, but they're not all over the place. I can't find that cave. I have been searching and searching and walking and searching, and not feeling good about it. We'll look a while longer though. This is really cool right here. I've never seen anything quite like it. It's an old tree that fell down, and look at this root ball. Of course, there's a bunch of rocks, and the root ball was here. And look at the size of that boulder it pulled out of the ground. I mean, that thing probably weighs a couple thousand pounds. It's massive. Because the tree acted just like a lever when it fell. Had all that weight out there and acted just like a lever and just pulled it right up. Have you ever seen anything like that? That's weird. Looks like a giant did it. A Sam Squanch. Maybe we'll come back at night. This is where the Sam Squanchers party. We'll hang out and see what happens. Hey, I might get some night vision. If I do, we'll do that. We're a mile away from my last clip, but this is one of the Osage orange fruit that I just showed you, the tree. And if you saw some of my videos from a month or two ago, they were very hard, but now they're quite mushy. Ooh, gross. The first one I've seen though, and I've seen quite a few trees, so something must be eating them. This is an old rub, deer rub. You can see this is a cedar tree right here, and big bucks come by, or little bucks. This was probably a good sized one. And they rub their antlers on here to get the velvet off and maybe to mark their territory. But you know, they regrow their antlers every year. They get velvet on them in this, you know, in the spring and summer, and they got to get that off. And that's one of the ways they do it. And here's a fresh one here. This is a fresh rub, what we call a rub. If you look here, you can see where it's gouged out right down into the wood real deep. And that's where the tines dug in there when he's going up and down like that. You see, like, that's not a Sam Squanch scratch. They would be about 12 feet up. And normally when you're walking around like this, you don't look up high, so you never really know when you're in the territory of a big old Sasquatch, or Sam Squanch for that matter. I always look up. I don't care about deer, but I care about them. They're very dangerous, especially when you spook them when they're young. Well, I'm certain I've gone past that cave, and unfortunately, I mean, I have my phone with me, but Google Earth is showing me like a mile on the other side of the river. And I know I'm not on the other side of the river, so that's not going to be of any help, and I'm just going by memory. I'm going to circle back around and go back again, because it's about 3 o'clock. Got about 2 hours of light left. I wanted to show you this, though. That's an old box turtle that, well, he's no longer among the living. I don't know why there's a hole in him right there. That's been out here a while. So we'll keep moving. I'm sure we'll find something interesting before it's over. We always seem to. The tree doesn't fall on us. I just heard something really big crashing down through the woods there.
probably a deer, but I don't know for sure. But as I was looking over that way, I see a really interesting tree. That's an old dead, might be an elm, I guess. But look at what the Sam Squinch did to it. Remember I told you how they'd mark way up high like that? He must have been really mad. Look! He has powerful claws all the way up there. Actually, this is just an old dead tree that has a lot of little insects that are living in it, and that's where a woodpecker has been pecking the wood to get his food. And those marks you see are actually where, you know, his bill is dug in. Let's give you a close up. You know, it's probably what they call a pileated woodpecker, or a pileated. That's him right there, if you just heard that. You know, people call them different things, but it's a great, big, giant woodpecker. If I do get to see them, I'll definitely get them on camera for you. They're not too afraid of people, so, and they're giant. It's not a Sam Squinch. That's the woodpecker. I don't see it though. Sounds a little bit like a monkey sometimes. We'll work our way over that way. And what this probably is, there's a fence there, and what this probably is where this was cleared at one time, and when the farmers would plow these stones up, they would bring them over here and dump them off along the edge here. It was a very common practice. They would, you know, dump them here in big piles. You see this a lot in woods or edges of fields. And again, when they were plowing with horses, they could easily plow, you know, small plots of land and very rocky plots of land like we're in here. But you see how it's much more level up here. So this was probably in crops, and they just dumped the rocks there. Oh, sounds like a monkey. I'm not sure where he is, but there he goes. Yeah, he's way over there. Thanks for joining me today. I'm sorry we didn't find the cave. I mean, I'm lugging around a bunch of cameras and stuff, so I'm really sorry we didn't find the cave. But we saw some other things. I hope it was worth watching. Tomorrow, I am definitely going to go metal detecting. We'll see you on the next one. Hopefully, there'll be a lot of treasure. Take care until then. My precious! Looking for my precious! Look, we have your precious. This is all you need for now. We'll take it home. You can just admire it because it's got pretty blue eyes. And, well, we'll look for it later, maybe in the fall. My precious! Shut up, Adam. Until I go to sleep. She'll shake the coins from your pocket, take your gold chain and your locket. Mother Earth has no sympathy. She'll take the ring from your hand and bury it in the sand and keep it for eternity. Mother Earth, she's got her secrets, she's promised